Have you ever looked around and felt like everyone else was moving forward while your life stood completely still? Perhaps you've watched your friends achieve their dreams while you're struggling just to make it through another day. Perhaps you've prayed for answers that never came, knocked on doors that never opened, and cried tears that no one ever saw. And maybe, just maybe, you've whispered these painful words in the silence of your room. God, I don't think I can do this anymore. There was once a young man named Ethan. He was 22 years old and looked like any other young man you would pass on the street. But behind his quiet smile was a heart carrying more pain than anyone around him could see. Life had not gone the way Ethan imagined it would. He had failed his university entrance exams twice. The business he dreamed of starting never left the pages of his notebook. The girl he thought he would spend his life with had chosen someone else. His friends were graduating, traveling, getting jobs, and celebrating life's victories, while Ethan felt as though he was standing still. Slowly, something began to change inside him. He stopped answering phone calls. He stopped going out with friends. He stopped praying before bed. The Bible that once sat beside him slowly gathered dust upon his bookshelf. Even his smile became something he wore only for other people. Every morning felt heavier than the day before. The hardest part wasn't that Ethan hated life. The hardest part was that he simply stopped believing his life mattered. He began asking questions that millions of people silently ask every single day. Why am I here? Would anyone truly miss me if I disappeared? Has God forgotten me? The more he asked those questions, the quieter his world became. One rainy evening, Ethan sat alone in his bedroom staring out at the storm outside his window. His room was dark except for the soft glow of a lamp resting upon his desk. He felt emotionally exhausted, not because of one tragedy, but because of 1,000 small disappointments that had slowly stolen his hope. He wasn't angry at God anymore. He was simply tired of pretending everything was okay, tired of waiting for life to change, tired of believing tomorrow would somehow be better. As he began packing away old childhood belongings from a wooden chest beside his bed, something unexpected caught his attention. It was an old Bible, the very same Bible his grandmother had given him on his 16th birthday. His grandmother had always been the kind of woman who believed God had a purpose for every person he created. Before she passed away several years earlier, she often told Ethan, God never creates people without purpose. If you're still breathing, then your story isn't over. Curious, Ethan opened the Bible for the first time in years. As he turned the pages, a folded handwritten letter slipped quietly onto the floor. Confused, he picked it up and slowly unfolded the yellowed paper. The letter read, My dear Ethan, if you're reading this one day, it probably means life became harder than I ever imagined for you. Tears immediately began forming in his eyes. The letter continued. There may come a day when you feel forgotten, broken, or completely lost. There may come a day when you wonder whether your life matters at all. Then came the words that would change his life forever. Before you give up, promise me one thing. Give God one more night. Not one more year. Not one more month. Just one more night. Tonight, cry if you need to cry. Pray if you can pray. Tell God exactly how you feel. But promise me that before you decide your story is over, you will allow God one more night to remind you that he isn't finished writing it. Ethan sat silently holding the letter against his chest as tears streamed down his face. For the first time in years, he decided to pray honestly. He didn't use beautiful words. He simply whispered, Jesus, if you still have a purpose for me, please help me see it. That night, Ethan stayed awake reading scripture. He cried. He remembered the little boy who once dreamed of changing the world. He remembered God's faithfulness throughout his childhood. Most importantly, he realized something he had forgotten for years. God had never left him. The next morning, something extraordinary happened. Nothing. His bank account was still empty. His problems had not disappeared. His future remained uncertain. But something inside him had changed. Hope had returned. Years later, Ethan became a mentor and counselor who dedicated his life to helping young people who felt forgotten, broken, and hopeless. Thousands of lives would eventually be impacted because of the one night he almost gave up. Had God immediately removed all of Ethan's problems? No, Jesus gave him something far greater, a reason to keep living. Today, if you feel like giving up, remember this. The enemy wants you to believe that your story is over. But God often does his greatest work in the chapters we almost skipped. Psalm 34:18 reminds us, The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. So before you give up on yourself, give God one more night, because perhaps Jesus isn't finished writing your story yet.